Hey guys, Stax here. We're gonna just take a step back and relax a little bit. Kind of let loose. Not gonna take a sledgehammer or explosives and destroy everything. I'm not gonna throw my club into the lake because I'm sick of really weird looking greens in the golf club. We're gonna play a little bit of tabletop tonight, and been playing really my new favorite tabletop game. No, it's not Marvel. I do love Legendary though, but no, it's gonna be Dark Souls, the board game. I've been playing with Kaji and I a lot. I don't know why he keeps asking me this, but no. Just gonna take a moment to load everything in here. I've already got a game set up, so we're not gonna go through all the setup or anything like that. But I've been playing with my friend Kaji Knight, and we're both big Dark Souls fans. And we just actually, before I recorded this, completed a full run through. So let me get into the basics here. I'll give you just a general overview. There are 4 characters that you can choose from. You can play with 1 to 4 characters, 1 to 4 players, and they each take a different character. I've ended up with the Herald. I randomly selected Herald. And Herald was actually the character I was when Kaja and I beat the game, basically. So, while the starting stuff looks pretty bad initially, what the Herald can do is pretty insane. You have the Assassin, who mostly specializes in dodging. That's what this that third circle at the bottom is. The Knight, who is basically a tank for the most part. And the Warrior, who I don't know much about the Warrior in this game. I guess he's just an all-around good dude. He's kind of an all-rounder. So there's a lot going on in this game. In this segment, it's just really going to explain basically what you've got here. Every character has a hero power, an Estus flask, and a lucky coin. So what this hero power does is it lets you use, well, your hero ability. And over here, you see the Herald has Perseverance, which means once per spark, and we'll get to that in a moment, during his turn, the Herald may use this, and when he does, each character gains 2 stamina. So this is really good for games where you have multiple players, because each player will get 2 stamina back. Stamina is down here on the bottom bar. And you see it starts from the left going to the right. That's your stamina. From the right going in, that's your health. And as you take... and basically, if this all fills up, you are dead. So you have to manage your stamina use and how much damage you are taking. That ability references sparks. This is over here. This is the Bonfire. And in a solo game, you start with 5 sparks. If you have 2 players, you start with 4. 3, you start with 3. 4 players, you get 2 sparks. If you die, if anybody in your party dies, everybody comes back to the bonfire and you lose a spark. So it's not just, oh, one person could die, the rest can finish the fight. No. If you get unlucky and die when you're in this encounter right before the boss, even though, your buddy could have killed the enemy next turn, you all come back here, everything resets, and you do it again. You can voluntarily come back and use a spark and reset everything, basically, if you want to grind. What else is going on over here? This is the treasure deck. Each character has 5 items that, there are 5 item cards here that get shuffled into the treasure deck. And there isn't much more to say other than you can use a soul to draw a card from the treasure deck. And if you meet the stat requirements, you can equip it. Stat requirements, well, stats are down here. You have base, tier 1, 2, and 3. This is your soul cache up here, by the way. There are soul tokens that you would use in the actual game. But in Tabletop Simulator, whoever created this one just gave me this, which is fantastic. The tiers. To go from base to tier 1, it costs 2 souls. To go to tier 1 to tier 2, it costs 4. And to get to tier 3, it costs 8. So, 14 souls will get you from base to tier 3. It's pretty good. What else do you have here? So I explained the hero power. The Estus Flask is very simple. If you use it, you flip it. Same with the hero power. And all those tokens go right back in the bag. And you go to full health. You can use these at any time during your turn, which is great because you can attack, use all but one of your stamina bars, then use your Estus Flask, and now you're back to full health. But you cannot heal on somebody else's turn or an enemy turn, so you got to be careful. If you're going to use it, you'd better use it. Lucky Coin allows you to re-roll 1 die, and then you flip it, and that's that. Now these two, you can use them once per spark. This, you can rebuy when you get back to the bonfire. Basically, after a fight, you can come back here, not use the bonfire, but you can use 1 soul to rebuy your lucky coin. Could be valuable. Down here is a spot for an ember. We'll get into that if I get one in the game. Let's look at some of these symbols here. On the cards, up here in the top left is the range. I just realized that. Can you actually see the cursor? You really can't. Yeah, let me fix that. Maybe properties, capture cursor. Cursor seems to be important. All right, top left corner is the range of that weapon. So the talisman has a range of 2 nodes. Simple as that. Requires 12 strength and 12 faith. Of course, the Herald starts with 13 strength. No, up here. 12 strength and 13 faith. I don't know why I was looking down at the knight. What do we got here? The spear is a one-hand... no, let's keep going here. This means it's just a Herald starting weapon. This means it's one-handed, and it's from the base set. The stats here, of course, are strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith. And it has 2 abilities. For 0 stamina, all characters within range gain 1 stamina, which is pretty solid. It says all characters, not all other, so you will also gain 1 stamina. And for 3 stamina, you can give 1 character within range 6 stamina back, which, like... If you've got your knight who's just used his +4, that would be really valuable. Now down to the bottom here, let's go to the Kite Shield. It's a good example. Actually, no, better example is the Herald Armor. See, 1, 1, 1, and 0. So what this means is this first one on the left is physical defense. So you will roll 1 black die to get a block value on a physical attack. Over here is magic resist, same thing. This is dodge, so you'll roll a green die, and you'll roll 1 for each dodge you have. Here I just have 1 evasion, so I would roll 1 die, and I would have dodged an attack that only required 1 evasion. Dodging in this game requires 1 stamina, and it is an all or nothing. You either dodge the attack completely, or you fail, and you get hit with the full force of the attack. That is not good. You don't want that to happen. Because then, basically, let's say it's a 4 physical attack. You fail the dodge, you take the 1 stamina, and 4 damage. You don't want that. By the way, I have a bit of a stuffy nose, so I will try not to sniffle a lot like that during this, but I can't make any promises. This last number over here is the number of upgrade slots it actually has. every weapon has a weapon or armor can have a maximum of 2. This one has 0. So I can't upgrade this at all with Titanite or gems or anything. Now over here, let's talk about the spear. For no stamina, I roll 1 black die. And this icon right here means I cannot use it at 0 range. You see the spear has a range of 1. So if I'm here and an enemy... Go get one. An enemy is right on this node with me, I can't attack him. If I move back here, now I'm 1 node away, and I can hit him. And then for 3 stamina, you add 1 to your black die roll. So, black dice. They have a max of 2. And they can also hit 0. And of course, there's a bunch of 1s on there as well. Blue die. You saw the knight has rolls a blue die for physical. It's either 1, 2, or there is a 3 on here somewhere. Just saw it. Well, whatever. You know it's there. Orange die. For much more powerful equipment later. Does have a 1 on it, but it also goes up to 4. So you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4 on your orange die roll. And it's 1 out of 6 to get a 1 or a 4. Everything else, you know, so you got 4 out of 6 to hit a 2 or a 3. I think it goes a 1, 1, a pair of 2s, 2 3s, and then a 4. And as mentioned, your green die is your dodge roll. It's a 50-50. The assassin loves dodge rolling. So basically, you set up the game with 4 tiles linked in somewhere or another. You see these things on the edge. That means it's a door. It's a connector. This one has a spare connector. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. That leads to nothing. You pretend this isn't a door. Everything leads to the boss. In this case, we have chosen by random the Winged Knight, who has 3 physical defense and 1 magic defense. And he also has an ability. When a character rolls 3 or higher on a block roll against Winged Knight, place 1 stamina cube on their endurance bar. He has a threat level of 10. That doesn't really matter. He'll be the only enemy in the room. 24 health. He goes into heat up mode at 12. So basically he has his deck here. You see 4 cards. These are 4 random attacks that he'll use. And then he has a heat up card. When he gets down to 12 health or lower, this card will get shuffled into that deck. And all hell will break loose. But we won't worry about him for a while. What we will worry about is, I believe, we've gone through pretty much everything. All the preliminaries are out of the way. So now let's finally play this game. I mean, like, God, I've spent like 12 minutes, 13 minutes explaining the basics. Now we can actually get into the game. In a solo game, you start with 16 souls in the soul cache. If you have 2 or more players, you start with 0. The solo game is designed to help you out just a little bit. We're going to spend a soul and go right in here. And we see a Titanite shard. So this is a weapon upgrade. This is the weapon's attack gains +1 damage. I don't have anything that can be upgraded, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna dig probably down to like at least 10 souls. And the next card we get here is the Court Sorcerer's Robes, and this is a little bit better than what I've got. I roll a blue die for magic resist instead of a black die, but other than that, it really is the same thing. And magic defense, at least in the base game, isn't all that important. There's only one primary enemy that deals magic damage, and that's the Hollow Archers. I don't know why it's a magic attack, but whatever. So it require tier 1 dexterity and tier 3 actually intelligence. We're just gonna assume that that's just a no-go. That's never gonna happen. Go down to 13. Hard leather armor requires 26 of everything. I don't ever plan on getting my int to tier 3. So we're gonna skip that. Swyhander? Oh my god. It's nothing that I can equip right now, but you see I roll a black and an orange for 5 stamina. Not the type of weapon that you want for the Herald. I'm going to keep going. Morning Star. Now that's something we can equip, and probably will. It's got to be better than the spear. It's all blue dice. And yeah, strictly better. So we're going to go to 9 and get to my tier 1 strength. I'm going to go to 7 and get to tier 1 faith. And now I can get rid of the spear, pretend it never existed. Get out of here. I don't ever want to see you again. Morning Star it is. I mean, the range of the spear is nice. The Morning Star itself is better. So we're going to stick with that. I can put the Titanite shard on it if I want to. I'm not going to just yet. If you put a gem on a weapon, it is permanent. If you put something on armor, it is temporary. We're gonna get another card, and it's Force. So this requires intelligence, even though it's a miracle and should be faith-based. It's whatever, but it allows you to. This icon is push, so this will push an enemy away 1 space, and for 2 stamina, I can push away 2 spaces. I'm not keen on it, but it's what I've got, so I might as well equip it. I'll use the 2 int there. I don't ever really plan on using the talisman. It's not a multiplayer game, so Force can go up there. This is my backup slot, by the way, in case you're wondering. You can have a backup, and once per turn, you can switch your, what you have equipped. We'll go down to 3. Silver Eagle Kite Shield. This is strictly better than what I've got. And so we'll equip it, because it only requires 15 strength. Voila. This is actually a really good series of pulls here. Black Armor requires 20 dex and 20 int. But it's very similar to the Court Sorcerer's robes. But it's a little more Herald friendly because I only need tier 2 int. Little dicey. Is now, okay, when you clear a room, you get 2 souls per character. So if I clear this next room, I could equip the black armor if I go to 20 int. And that's not so bad. But, feel like maybe I could do a little better if I had another pull. You know what? No, we're just going to stick with this. So I'm going to equip this Titanite shard onto the Morning Star. And finally, can I please? No, stop it. There. Long last, we can finally get into a room where we can start talking about enemies. You choose to enter a room and you will start on one of these 3 nodes. You don't choose until you see what the room is. In this case, it is the Dark Hollow. It's a pretty tough one for a level 1. Because you get to face a large hollow soldier who will spawn on spot number 1 here. The room contains a treasure chest on that node. And a gravestone here. So these are 2 immovable objects. They are obstructions. I cannot move through them at all, ever. And that's the way it is. After I clear the room, I flip this. It will remain open forever. And I get 2 free treasure cards, which seems pretty darn good. Gravestone, can't move it either. And when you clear all these rooms, when you go into the boss room, for each gravestone or for each room you've completed on that run to the boss room that has a gravestone, you get a hint, basically. You get to peek at the boss's deck and see what attacks it may have, or what attacks it does have. So that's going to be very valuable information. Again, this spawns over here, so we get to choose where we want to start. So, let's look at the large hollow soldier here. His attack has no range, so he can only attack when he's on your node. Now this, you read cards left to right. So, in this instance, he will, ignore this for a moment, he will move towards the closest character. That's what this means. Moves towards closest. That up means he moves forward. And then, if there is a character on that node, so like let's say he's here and he moves here, he will push me away, which means I need to move one spot, in this case either here or here, because I'm up against a wall. I can't go here. If this were him moving to here, now I have here, yeah, I have here, 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 here. I can move anywhere, but as it is, on the wall, you can only move to the wall. It's whatever. It's pushing you up against the wall, basically, and kind of squeezing you out, I guess. Whatever. /r/no context. The one on the left means he has 1 physical resist on all attacks, or on all physical attacks. He has no magic resist. His attack takes 1 evasion, and up here he has 5 health. So we get this thing over here. This is not a guy that you usually run into early on. Most enemies only have 1 health. Except the Sentinel. And fuck the Sentinel. Alright. So, here's how movement works. The enemy always moves first. And then, in a multiplayer game, the character with the first activation would move. Would take their turn. And at the end of their turn, they gain the aggro token. On your first turn, you decide who gets the aggro token. In this case, it's a solo game. It literally doesn't matter. But, let's see. You see all these numbers here. Let's say I was in a game with the knight as well. So if this guy moves closer to the closest character. Wow, words are hard. We're both equidistant. He will go after the person with the highest taunt level. In which case, he goes over here. Unless one of those characters has the aggro token, in which case he'd go over here. There are some enemies that will attack towards the aggro token, mostly bosses. So, now that this is all out of the way, let's play the damn game, shall we? This guy moves 1 towards me, and I'm doing this with keyboard and mouse. It's hard. He's going to go right there. Now I take my turn. And I'm just going to move here. You don't have to move, but I'm going to. So he's going to take his turn. He moves here. Now he's 1 space away from me, and now I'm going in to attack him. So, I'm going to use 3 stamina. And I'm going to roll 2 blue dice. That'd be these. And he's going to resist 1 physical attack. Now remember, I have that Titanite on there, so we're going to add 1 to the attack. I could actually kill him here in 1 shot, technically. 3, 4, plus 1, it's going to be 5. He resists 1, so he's down to 1. He takes 4. Now, on his turn, because I'm on his node, he's going to push me off, then move towards me, then attack me for 5. I could choose to dodge if I wanted to. I'm just going to take the 5 and let him push me here. I've already decided. He's going to push me there. So now I need to roll for physical defense. It's going to be black and a blue. He can't actually kill me, so this is really a moot point. I resist 4 of it. I take 1. Boom. And you see I have basically 6 health or stamina left. On the start of your turn, you gain 2 stamina. Get in there. And now I just move here. Actually, it doesn't matter. Yes, no, it doesn't. The blue can't roll a 0, so I'm just going to use 0 stamina. Roll my blue die. Sure, he has 1 physical defense, but I'm adding 1. So this was a guaranteed kill. He's dead. I go back here. I recover any damage. Gain 2 souls. And we flip the treasure chest. And I get to look at 2 cards for free. And we get the Kukris, basically daggers. Requires 15 dex and it induces a status effect. In this case, bleed. And bleed, when you attack something with bleed, it gets one of these tokens. Or when you inflict bleed. The next time it would take damage, it takes an additional 2. I'm just going to leave this over here. I may need it. I don't think I'm going to use the Kukris, but you never know. And now this. Fire Link Armor is pretty darn good. And something that I will probably be equipping instead of the black armor because I can afford to... No, I can't afford to do so. Damn it. Because I need 20 strength and 15 int, and of course the Herald never gains intelligence ever. So I have 4 souls right now. I can get strength or intelligence or faith to tier 2. The plan all along was to get int up there. So, whoops, I zoom the camera out. So now I have the intelligence I need for that, but that also means I have the intelligence I need for this. And I actually like having the option to dodge, you know, in a pinch. So we'll spend 4 souls, get that tier 2, equip that. And did I forget to do anything? I don't think so. Nope, that gravestone means I'll get a peek at the boss, basically. So we're going to move into this room now. It's another level 1. You know, I have my level 2 up there, basically just a natural progression. You flip it, and you see there's another treasure chest in here. That's a good thing. The rest of the room, however, is not. So we're going to move this over here for now. Treasure chest goes on that one. There's a barrel here. I don't fully understand barrels. I think you can use 1 stamina to, like, break through it so you can pass through. Otherwise, normally you can't. I just leave the barrels. They don't matter. And what do we have for enemies in this room? Where is it? Right here. There will be 2 hollow soldiers on 1. So that's going to be on this spawn. And 1 crossbow hollow on 2. This is actually another pretty easy room. The crossbow hollow, we'll just drag these cards over so you can have a look. And this is a good time to explain the threat level up here in the corner. Enemies move in order of their threat level. So if all 3 of these were in a room, large hollow soldier would go first, then the hollow soldier, then the crossbow hollow. So in this case, the hollow soldier will move 1 towards the nearest enemy, and at 0 range will attack for 4 physical, and it has 1 evasion. And over here, the crossbow hollow is the only regular enemy that does magic damage. It will move away from the person with the aggro token, then attack with unlimited range for 3 magic damage. I'm pretty well set. So we are going to just get right into this. You choose again on which 3 of these spots you want to spawn. And let's just go here for the sake of simplicity. So hollow soldier is going to move as close to me as they can. They can't actually touch me. Crossbow hollow is going to move away, attack for 3 magic. And I have 2 black dice for magic resist. So we're going to throw one out. Then throw the other. And I block the whole thing. So, hooray for me. You can have a maximum of 3 units on one node. Use that to your advantage, trust me. I'm going to move here, and it's a guaranteed kill because... Oh no, these guys have 1 magic resist. It's still a guaranteed kill. They have 1 magic resist and 1 health. You can only attack 1. So, you know, you just roll the blue die. Even if it lands on a 1, I add 1 to it. So, they're dead. You'll see me shortcutting that a lot. And maybe briefly explaining it. So, Hollow Soldier's going to attack me. I roll 2 blue dice. He moves towards me, but he's already on my node, so it doesn't matter. That's a 4, so I take no damage. It's like this is rigged. This guy keeps running away. And we'll roll 2 black dice. And I take 1 damage. On my turn, we kill this guy. And start chasing this dude down. He is 2 spaces away from me right now. He can't move any further away. So he's just going to stay there. If an enemy can't move any further away from you, they just don't move. Same as if they can't move any closer to you. So it's going to be 2 black dice. Oops. And I take 1. And now I'm going to move 1. You get 1. I should explain this. You get 1 free movement. And then you can move an additional node for 1 stamina each. In this case, move right up into his face. He has no magic resist, so it doesn't matter what this rolls. He's dead. Or he has no... Oh, he has 1 physical defense. It still doesn't matter because I gained the +1 damage. So he's dead. We move this back over here. Gain 2 souls. And now it's thinking time. Do I want the 2 dexterity here? It would allow me to equip the kukris. It's whatever. Or I can... I have 3 options, basically. I can gain tier 1 dex. I can save these souls. But if I die, I lose them all. Or I can go fishing in the treasure deck. I actually feel like the gear I have right now is pretty good. So for now, I think the plan is just to sit tight. The Firelink armor, I don't even know if I would equip it if I could, because, you know, we got Winged Knight as the boss. I don't think he has magic attacks. May not matter. And you can't roll at all. You can't dodge. So, And being that that's the case, I feel pretty good about my equipment. The only thing I could want more is... I don't know, dex. I don't really care enough. So we're going to go digging. Oh, wait. I get 2 anyways. Aha! Yeah. So 2 more freebies. Soul Arrow, which I could actually equip. And an Ember. Great. So, immediately gain an Ember token and discard this card. Embers are important. James and I, or Kaji Knight and I, did not get an Ember in our run. Or I think he did in the first half of it. But anyways, you get this Ember. You don't use it. But if you would take 3 or more physical... no. If you would take 3 or more damage... Get in there. You take 1 less. So if I were to take 3 damage here, I'd take 2 instead, which is pretty good. And you only lose this Ember if you die. So if you come back to the bonfire, oh, doesn't matter. You keep it. It's pretty OP. This is going really well, actually. So now with that in mind, I got the Soul Arrow. Needs 16 int. I have that. It has a range of 3. Great. And this yellow... Whoops. This yellow icon here means it's a magic attack. So you look at an enemy's magic resist instead of their physical. This will be really good against Winged Knight. Against everything else, not so much. So... Well, actually, I say that. There's some pretty powerful enemies that could show up in Tier 2 rooms, where a soul arrow could be really good. You can only switch inventory items while you're here at Blacksmith Andre, basically. I don't know that I'm ever really going to use Force, so let's equip it. What's the worst that could happen, right? Because I need 16 int. I have that. So I could gain this dex, but I don't really care. So let's go digging now. And to get the Pierce Shield, requires 16 and 10, so I have that. And you are allowed to use each weapon you have. And the shield counts as a weapon, even though you block with it. So in this case, the shield here, you know, I could use my Morning Star, and then I can use 2 stamina and get a 2 black die attack with my shield, which is pretty good. But I could probably do better. I don't know. I mean, we'll just kind of set that right here. And I might as well just use my last soul here and get the Sharp Gem. That's going to require Tier 2 dex, but it gains another black die on all your weapons attacks. So, I mean, I could use it on, like, the Pierce Shield and get 3 black dice, which is actually pretty good. I think that would justify getting rid of this. But for now, I mean, we're going to be at least 3 rooms, and there are only 2 left here, before I could even think about doing that. So, meh.